Today I am slowing down and building two very useful but very slow farms in my hardcore world. I tried. Normally this series focuses on extremely overpowered farms with insane rates like the resin and gunpowder farms I've recently made, but today we are taking it much slower. Making the creeper farm took me a very long time because I needed over 11,000 tinted glass, and I manually mined up every amethyst cluster to get all the shards needed, and it wasn't fun, or very interesting. I rarely AFK in this world, so building an amethyst farm has been out of the question. One of the recent snapshots for 121.5 though will change that. As of 25W06A, any block loaded by chunk loaders may now receive random ticks. This means amethyst farms can now be automated, and that's amazing. The second farm we're going to do today is also very slow because it requires waiting on a specific crop to grow, specifically chorus plants. The first step in building the amethyst farm is going to be to fully enclose it and drain the water from the ocean bits. I like this geode because it's exposed, but being fully underwater is definitely not the easiest thing to deal with. I've been through this process to make the large perimeter, but on a small scale like this, it's not that bad. I'll start by making a wall around the entire thing, and then we can divide it down the middle and run a water sweeper on both sides. From there, I'll simply have to dig out the rest of the stone and other blocks around the geode to fully expose each of the budding amethyst. Okay, that's the entire outer wall done, and this is the area that we need to drain and clear to build the amethyst farm today. I'm also going to lower this inside bit as much as makes sense so that the sweepers can automatically drain as much as possible, and I think clearing these gravel patches makes the most sense. Then we can get to building the water sweeper machines. You've seen me build these before if you watch me prepare the 528 by 528 perimeter. Okay, I only made a couple little mistakes during that. It's fine, all sorted now. The first side is drained, so I can take down the sweeper and move it to the other side. And the bottom bits are always just that little bit of extra water, and as you may already know, I like to have fun by spamming sponges everywhere. Yes, there are better ways, and I don't care still. I just want to have fun. Let me have my fun. I had a couple of water caves in there, but nothing too bad to clear out, and I can finish up removing the water and start working on the second half. Wait for the ASMR. These sweepers are simple because this side is slightly less than half, but I can just trim down the sweeping arms and it works fine. Very easy, very adjustable. Let's wait for it. Perfect. And speed. Now it's time for our favorite program, Sponge Spam with RadicalElder. No more water, time to dig. This isn't a huge space, but sometimes you just have to set up the beacon and deal with it. Yeah, it takes a few extra minutes between the setup and the takedown, but it's okay. We're going to save those minutes and a lot more once we have this set up. Could I have some haste too, please? And this should be the last of it. There we go. The first step in making an amethyst farm is to create a schematic of your geode. I'm going to use this one in a separate world as an example. This is the one I used to learn from. I'm going to save that schematic and then go get a mod called Geodesy. The tutorial by Ilmango that's shown will explain 100% of how to use it, but I'll run through it quickly. First, we're going to load the geode schematic from our save. I'm going to move that off the ground so blocks can go all the way around it if needed. Next, we're going to create an area with this command, /geodesy space area. You're going to select the corner coordinates at this one corner and then the opposite corner and press enter. The mod will then automatically create this tinted glass box around you, and this is where all the magic will happen. The next command we're going to run is /geodesy space analyze, and again press enter. That will now surround your geode and give you options for how you want to create machines, as well as the efficiency of each set of machines. You can see that running east and south collects 89% of the available clusters, while east, south, and up collects 93%. It's just a little bit more result for a fair bit more work. So for me, I'm going to choose /geodesy space project, and then east, south, which is 89% of all collectible area, and less work than choosing the three sides. When I press enter, the mod adds these pumpkin and crying obsidian blocks to the farm's outline. Our job is to connect the pumpkins with slime or honey blocks without going into the crying obsidian. We can connect up to 12 at one time, and Ilmango's tutorial gets way further into this, so I'll just go quickly. But this is 8 slime all connected as one flying machine. And if I want to, I can add my last 4 here. When the flying machines will touch or you find it easier, swap over to honey and make another flying machine with that. I'm going to grab these outside pumpkins here. How you do this is up to you, but each machine has to include at least 4 blocks in a very specific configuration, and we'll get into that next. You can see this honey set will touch 2 sets of slime, and that's okay as long as it's not touching another honey set. And once that's done, I'm going to add zombie heads in a row of 3 somewhere, with each flying machine having a wither skull off to the side of each one of the ends like an L. This is the required 4 blocks in the required shape. The zombie heads can't touch as they would here, so I'm going to move these ones up. Let's do the last 2 quickly. You can do that for all of the pumpkins, but let's skip ahead to the next command. That's /geodesy space assemble and press enter. When you do, the entire set of flying machines is automatically built for you. A quick test shows us that it's all working. The flying machines will take off, knock all the shards off the sides of each budding amethyst here, and the machine will bounce off the other end and come back home. Your shards are automatically collected into a hole in the water pool at the bottom, and after we create a new schematic, we can get to building. Okay, let's take a break here for a second to check our progress. I'm about 2/3 done on the sides of this machine, it's coming along well. You can see the distinct shapes of each of the flying machines that will fly past my actual geode buds. Some are smaller, some are bigger. You can see here that these 2 are both honey, but they don't touch, so that's fine. And where they do touch, I use slime to make a new machine, so this one won't get stuck to either of these 2. And building the walls up past the geode is easy because you aren't really doing much except extending the safe area for flying machines to come and bounce off of. With the wiring and all 3 sides done, I've set the machine off for the first time. You'll see the top set of machines works first, and then the left side, and then the right. And yes, for the real farm I did all 3 sides, not just 2. It was slightly more effective, and I didn't mind doing the little bit of extra work in my actual world. You could make a much faster amethyst farm by finding a perimeter-sized area with as many geodes as possible, and then clearing around each one and funneling all your drops to one main storage. I think it's possible to have a lot of geodes, like 10 or 15 or more, inside of one perimeter. Okay, let's AFK this geode a bit. It's a very slow farm, so this next footage is sped up 60 times normal speed. The clock on this farm is a long one as we wait for the amethyst to grow back. Once 1.21.5 comes out, I'll update and we'll chunk load this and add better storage, and that'll give us a lot of amethyst over time. For now, I'm getting dinner. I'm back, and just in time, the flying machines are starting and we can watch this thing go from an almost fully grown geode to an almost fully cleared one. Something to remember is that even with the 3 sides, this is never going to be 100% cleared, so I can always go in after and clear away any clusters manually, or even remove them at earlier stages if I want the smaller amethyst types. The first one returned, and that will automatically send out the second machine, and watching the amethyst shards get flushed down the water collection is very satisfying to me. Some shards do get stuck on the machine, but they bounce around, and by the end almost all have fallen in. And now the final side will launch when this one returns. There are fewer shards here, but it's definitely worth building all 3 sides. I'm going to do a very simple collection for now. I'm going to push all the drops here into these 4 chests. The farm can only run when I'm currently here, so that's fine. I collected all the clusters from both times that it's run, and we have almost 11 stacks of shards. That's pretty awesome. I had basically none left after last time. Oh, I hope you like that farm, I do. Let's get ready for farm number 2. Our chorus fruit and chorus flower farm will go on the Mushroom Island, I think. I'm going to sit in a cart to run this farm, possibly for a longish time, so I don't want mobs or anything else bothering me. I know phantoms can still spawn, but I guess I'll have to deal with that as it happens. Here looks perfect, just above these guys. Chorus fruit's not an easy or a fast farm to build. The concept is simple enough, but in practice it's a bit weird. I'm essentially going to blow up TNT above the grown chorus plants, and that will knock off some of the flowers, Then the minecarts will drive directly next to each plant and break it off, collecting the chorus fruit as well. The minecart track that goes around this farm then lets me manually replant each chorus flower in the farm, so that can all happen again. The problem is, like amethyst, chorus plants grow slowly, and this farm has another long clock on it. To get the farm started, I actually needed to take a trip to the end. I personally love coming to the end, so it's fine, I definitely didn't mind. All I need to do here is collect a bunch of flowers. The more the better, but I think a stack will do more than enough to get me started. There are many ways to collect the flowers, but I really like using my bow, so that's most of what I did. Shoot off the flowers, break down the plants, and collect it all. Now I can manually plant this first batch of chorus flowers. And with that done, now we can wait. I'll sit in this minecart and get the angle for replanting set, which to me was facing 90 degrees west and 60 degrees on the y-axis. I'm looking right here. And then with chorus flowers in hand, I'm ready to replant the farm once it starts. This farm, like the amethyst, does take time. This footage is sped up 16 times faster than normal so you can see the plants growing, and eventually the farm starts. Why am I not replanting? Did I do something wrong? What did I do wrong? Okay, clearly I made a mistake when building the farm. My minecart was the one breaking all the plants, and that shouldn't happen, but I forgot to put in the hopper minecarts for collection so you can see all the flower and fruits just sitting on the track here. Let's replant it all and go again. With hopper minecarts this time, of course. They go in the dispenser down here, and now we wait again. This time when the TNT goes off, you'll see the hopper minecarts that will get ahead of me. They're going to break the chorus plants, not me, which means I can replant as we go. Off we go, and now this is working perfectly. If phantoms wouldn't kill me, I could now just AFK this farm for as long as I like. If I wanted it phantom-proof, I suppose I could build a big platform above the farm, so they wouldn't spawn, but this is fine for now. I don't plan to do AFK for super long periods of time anyways. Storage will be built at this emerald block. And like with the amethyst farm, I'll make a proper and larger storage later, but it's a slow farm, so for now I can get away with a simple hopper and chest system, collect the few drops that we'll get each run, and I can shulker load those myself into 1 or 2 shulkers every couple of hours that we're here. If you've made it this far into the video, I hope you're enjoying it so far. We're going to spend the rest of our day together doing a few catch-up things that need to be done and moving the world forward. The first of those is to smelt a bunch of our new chorus fruit so we can craft some end rods. That's why we made the farm, right? This 192 furnace super smelter has served me well. Its time will be over soon for big projects, but for a small project like this, it's still perfect. We now have almost a shulker of pop chorus fruit, and if I grab some blaze rods, like 3 stacks of each, that will craft us 12 stacks of end rods. That's a ton more than we had, and I'm super happy with that progress. I also went back to the amethyst farm. I do want to run this a couple more times to get more shards. Felt like quite a brokey the other day trying to get tinted glass, and I didn't like it. More is good. Give me more. Our blaze farm isn't much to look at, but after using up a bunch of rods, I figured we should go back and get a few more stacks. Then I was watching one of my friends stream over on Twitch, and they were working on taking down a whole trial chamber. I was enjoying it, so I went out and wanted to do the same thing. This is the first trial chamber I ever went to, actually. I've removed the spawners this time, at least in the main areas. I won't be back to this one farming wind charges, as I still plan to do the roller coaster at the perimeter that has a bunch more spawners that are closer to each other. Today what I'm after is mostly the copper, although we end up with a lot more tuff than copper actually. I want both the oxidized and unoxidized stuff, as farming that is also very slow. See, I stayed on theme there. Copper, grates, and trapdoors and doors are all very useful for us for future builds, and I have so little of it. Running the copper farm was also a bit slow. Theme. And now it doesn't work at all, so there's that. Let's get a little beacon set up here again. Haste 2, please. I ended up hanging out at my friend's stream for a good 4 hours or so while I dug at this trial chamber. Long after they'd gone back to doing other stuff, I was just enjoying listening to them and playing the game. Sometimes I get lost in it like that. Ironically, some of you will be playing the game while you're watching this. In the end, I collected many shulkers of tough bricks, polished tough, and copper, as well as some keys, wind charges, and other miscellany. My picks were dead, so I went to do some trading to repair them. Now it's time to catch up on a few projects for you guys who support the channel. The first one of these is armor stands in our temple. If you don't know, the Sun Temple is home to our Patreon armor stands. Different levels of supporter get different armors from leather all the way up to netherite. Next to each is a lit candle with the name of the Patreon below them, and an item frame for later redeems beside them. We currently have a number of stands already set up in here, and today I need 10 sets of iron armor, 14 sets of gold, 1 diamond, and our very first netherite set. For that, I'll need to duplicate this trim and break down some of my diamond ore from the perimeter. Netherite template duping gets expensive, but it's obviously worth it. Let's get this one made. Back in the temple, let's get the netherite one set up first. As I mentioned, this is our very first tier 5 netherite armor in the temple. Quick repair 1 sec. Okay, back to it. Thanks so much to Tobles for your huge support for the channel. Our Patreons help keep the channel alive, and it's great to see the support over there growing, as more and more of you want the world download, early access to videos, and in-game rewards like this. Our single diamond armor stand today is for Trevor S. Thank you so much. And that's all 26 new Patreons added into the temple. Thank you all again. If you're interested in the Patreon, some free downloads and paid tiers, check out the link in the description for all of that. And the final viewer-related thing on my list today is to update the egg drop. To catch you up, every subscriber on the channel gets a dragon egg put onto the giant dragon egg that I'm building, and once we hit 100,000 eggs, I'm dropping them like a sand drop onto the monument below to drain it all at once. And my last update was at 44,700 subscribers. I just passed 48,000 this week, so we're going to catch up to 48,000. If you subscribe to the channel by then, your egg will be on this pile today. And I'm just about there. We're at 47,965. And that should do it. I've now placed 48,000 dragon eggs into this giant dragon egg, and if you want an egg in this pile, you should probably already know what to do, so thanks for doing it. That's it. I built a chorus fruit farm for end rods, an amethyst farm for shards to make tinted glass, and I caught up on 2 massive viewer projects that are all about you. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.